everyone, welcome back. How is everyone doing today? Does anyone have any financial goals they're working on and what their ideas are to get those accomplished? So right now we are working on Voyage 13B. We have just entered week number 3, and we started off by having the goal of $3,100 to pay off. That $3,100 comes from $300 being on a Target bill, and I used Visa to pay off the Target, and so then basically, since the Visa payment is usually $150, I'll be paying back the Visa to be making that minimum payment on it as well. And then the Discover 2, it originally started off with this part of the journey around $5,000, but we're trying to tackle $2,800 worth of it. And then the other final part will be in part C for the last part of that. So we also have 3 fish joining us for week number 3 to keep us company. And so we'll jump into the numbers. We'll start off with the checking account. So we had a paycheck on August 8th, and that was $1,044.11. And I start off by putting $44.11 to the savings account. And then I applied $140 to the line of credit 1, and that is to be paying the bills. And then $560 was applied to line of credit 2, and that is for credit card payments. $200 was put into line of credit 3, and this is to help pay the mortgage each month and to also pay down the line of credit 3. So the attempt is to paying down all the lines and making their minimum payments each week. So we then took $50 and applied that to loan number 1. And then that left us with $50. So then we went ahead and put that $50 into savings. So then we zeroed out our checking account. So next, we show what we did in savings. We start off with $556.21. We then added that $44.11 from the beginning of the payroll check because it was the odd amount, and that gave us $600.32. We then added that final $50 that we had left in the checking account, so that gives us $650.32 in the savings. And then for loan 1, I'm just going to show, like last month we had done where I used each week, we did $50 towards that loan to make the final monthly payment. So this is how we did it last month. And then we start off with this month where we're starting off with $8,820.22 is how it started. It is at a 5.5%. And then we did send $50, where $9.30 went to interest, and then $40.70 went to the principal, giving us a new balance of $8,779.52. And the next week we'll make up a new line for the next week's payment, which we'll do $50 again next week on that. And then this shows a complete on the line of credit 1, 2, and 3 for the balances. So currently the line of credit 1 that we're using for bills, it has a balance of $11,821.40. Currently available is of $178.60, and then we're sending $140 a week towards that. And right now the monthly payment is $108.51, and that's due on September 1st. For line of credit 2, we are using this as we're parking the payments for the credit cards, and we are at $10,824.12 is the balance. We do have $1,675.88 available, and that has a weekly payment of $560. And then the monthly payment is $117.14. Then we have the line of credit 3, which we are using that for the mortgage payment. So we have $11,790.97 for that balance. Available is currently $709.03. So especially with this account, you can see we're making progress because we just did a $200 weekly payment on that. And then we take out, what is it, $761 or $781 each month. So right now we're at August 8th and we already have $709 available. So you can definitely see we're making progress on this line of credit 3, as well as this line of credit 2 until we take out that money for the credit cards. So then with this line of credit 3, the monthly due is currently at $122.32. So the complete balance of all three comes to $34,436.49. The total available with all three of these is $2,563.51. And then we're spending $900 a week towards all three of these. And then the monthly payment on its own, all three added together, is $347.97. And then we also have where we break down as to what has happened with the lines of credit. So the line of credit 1, I don't know if I'd ever posted how much it is. It's at 7.5%. The monthly due is $105.51. So then we start off with that $10,962.90. And then we sent that payment of $140, which $15.77 went to interest. $124.23 went to principal, giving us now a balance of $10,838.67. We then sent $592.25 to Citibank, and then $25 to Citibank for the phone bill. And then $253.48 went to Target and also the student loan. So $163 was a student loan and the rest would have been Target. And then we sent $112 to American Express, which covered the internet and also the phone bill. So that remaining available balance is $178.60. And then what I did was I broke down what that $592.25 was, and that is $24.65 to YouTube. $51.62 of it is groceries. So we're now starting to work into where we're paying groceries and gas weekly now. So we are definitely seeing some progress on our process. So $47.91 was gas, and then I did have a dentist bill for $175. We were able to pay out of line of credit 1. We paid the garbage bill for $56, the water bill for $106.44, and the electric bill for $130.63. So almost all of the August bills have been paid. So there's not too many left remaining. And then we go to line of credit 2, which is set aside for credit card payments. The monthly due is $117.14, and that is at 7.5%. We start off with $11,269.55, and then with the $560 we sent, there was $14.57 that went to interest, and then $545.43 went to principal. That gave us $10,724.12. And then we did take out $100 to send towards Discover 2. So that gives us a balance of $10,824.12. And then available is $1,675.88. And then I used where I'm subtracting $1,560. So that's after these payments come out, then that would be the new available balance, because I wanted to subtract the holdings. And that is from July 25th, August 1st, and August 8th, the $460. So there's $1,360 that's due for Discover 2. And then this other 60, 60, and 60 for the same dates, that is going to go to the Visa. And that's for the Target that got paid via the Visa. So we have $180 sitting into the line of credit 2 for that payment. And then we'll jump into the line of credit 3. And this is at 7.5%. The monthly payment is $122.32. And we just sent a payment of $200, and $17.22 went to interest, $182.78 went to principal, and then there's $709.03 available. And then once again, this is for the mortgage. And so we'll only be withdrawing out of this once a month to make the mortgage payment. So we are well on track on that. So we shouldn't have any issues doing the mortgage payment at the end of, or at the beginning of September. And we're definitely seeing some progress in that line of credit 3 getting paid down. So then we show the Voyage 13B, how that Discover 2 started off at $2,000, and then we're going to be paying down $2,800 of that $5,000, and then the target of $300, and we want to pay off that full $300. So then we have week 2 where we ended up with $1,680. So then we Sent $100 this week for week 3, and then the 460 is in line of credit too. So now at week 3, we're down to 1,120 on that Discover 2. And then with the target for week 3, we left the 60 in the line of credit too. So now there's 120 left to pay on that. And then for the captain's log, we have week 3 as August 8th of 25, where we accomplished a payment of 620. And we have $1,240 left to pay on this voyage. So the total amount we've paid off for the entire journey of almost the last 2 years is $60,629.87. And then we go into the bills that have been paid off monthly so far. So we had the internet for $82. We paid that with American Express, and then we used line of credit 1 to pay American Express. And then the next set was the YouTube, the groceries, gas, dentist, garbage, water, electric, phone. We all did the city on that, and we took that out of line of credit 1 to pay the Citibank. We then had a phone bill that went through the American Express for $30. We used line of credit 1 to pay that. And then we had $90.48 of Target, which was kind of groceries and household expenses, and that was taken care of from the line of credit 1. And then so far for the August expenses, we have the mortgage, which we start off at $47,998.88. We did 140 of interest, 176.13 of principal. So now there's $47,822.75 that is due. We did do a student loan payment, but for whatever reason on the student loan side, I couldn't find the breakdown. So what I'm going to do is next month, I'll just remember to put this as the ending balance, and then I'll know what was interest and what was principal, because at the moment I can't find on the site where they break it down to what went to interest, what went to principal, and I don't remember what my final balance was at the end of last month. So we'll just go ahead and leave student loan A as right now we owe $5,828.83, and student loan B we owe $3,668.87, and then next month we'll update it with what went to principal and what went to interest. And then we had the escrow, the $445.71, and then we had loan 1 where we paid that off for the month of, the payment was on August 1st, and that started off with $8,969.84. So for the month of August we paid, actually it would be July since it was an August 1st payment, we paid $41.66, and the principal was $149.62. So now that loan 1 for the ending August after the payment got made was $8,820.22. And I believe that is it on that. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. Please like and subscribe to follow my debt journey, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you so much.